And in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing a setup which I actually shared in the free Telegram channel. If you're not part of that, do find the link in the description below. All right, so we're going to be looking at Euro AUD. This was the free signal I sent in our VIP channel and as well in the public channel, right? And this was on Euro AUD. So if I can zoom in right here for you, this was in the H1 time frame when this trading idea was actually sent. I actually did go more into this on our previous video, so do check out the previous video before this one, where I talk about how I mastered Btmm. Right, so just by looking at this, one of the reasoning behind me, looking for short entries on Euro AUD was we had a very clear peak formation high which was set, and I wanted to look for shorts going to the downside. So now I'm going to be taking you through the chart itself, Euro AUD. I'll break it down for you guys, and I will also be reviewing how I've been trading this $50,000 account with FunjoFX. So I'm basically up 20%, 12% on this account. So I'll take you through the trading history, and I'll be going through how important being selective is. A lot of people, as they learn Btmm, it clouds their mind to the point where they start seeing setups all over the place, right? And it's very important for you to be very selective when trading these setups, because you will always find them. That is one thing I can tell you about the charts based on my experience, as I have over 6 years of experience trading Btmm. All right, so if we look at, I'll take this from a very clean chart so you understand the reason why I was looking for sells on Euro AUD. So going from the weekly time frame, what we can identify is very simple. We've been in an uptrend. I mean, this is a trending market, as you can see, giving us fresh highs, right? We can take it down to the monthly so that, we can get an understanding of the bigger picture. So what we can identify here is we've got this supply area that we have in the monthly, and we have price just tapping into that into the weekly time frame, as we go down to the weekly time frame. So this is what we have, right? Very simple structure that we're dealing with from this low to this high. So we're interested in trading in this range in the weekly time frame. And one thing we can identify here is we can clearly identify one level of rise. As you can see, that's a push, level 1. We can also identify another level of rise into a consolidation and the last level of rise. So we can clearly identify 3 levels of rise in the weekly time frame. Right. So if we zoom in on this Euro AUD chart, what we can see is we had that rally, base, drop type of formation right there. All right, so we're looking for entries in this range. All right, and this was clearly identified in our weekly time frame. All right, so if we go down to the daily time frame, now that we have an understanding of what is happening. So it's always very, very important for you to understand where price is coming from and where price is most likely to go. So the reason why price pushed to this area was because of this demand area right here. As you can see, we could identify imbalance on this weekly candle, and price made its way back down to the origin of that push to the upside. Right, so if we go to the daily time frame, this is what we can identify. We can see that price pushed into the area right here, and what I loved about this was, right, we grabbed some stops, definitely, right, above this high. Right, that was a clear grab of stops above that high. So that was one of the reasons why I was looking to go for shorts. So taking it down to the weekly 4-hour time frame, Remember, this is understanding what's happening in your higher time frame. Right? Very, very, very important. Understand what is happening in your higher time frame. So now that we were dealing with the weekly, with the 4 hour range, right? I like boxing out the information so that I can understand what is happening. So the recent low that I was focusing on was this one. And one thing that we can identify is as price was pushing up, looking at the more recent price action as price broke this supply area, was we can also identify level one, right? We identify another push, level two. We can also identify the last push, level three, right? That's what we want to look for before we look for a reversal, right? So as we go to the 1 hour time frame, this is where my trading idea came from, right? As I shared this signal with you guys in the Telegram channel, that was because I had identified the peak formation and I was looking for shorts, right? So I was, pretty much sure about this reversing. But remember, uh, however you can be sure in the market, it's always very important to manage your risk, right? Because I think people get carried away, by understanding BTMM and the power BTMM has. They do get carried away. So since I had identified 3 levels up and I had identified a peak formation, I was looking to trade this the other direction. So as you can see, we identified this push being level one, and this is the same area where I wanted to see shorts from. As you can see, when I shared this with you guys, I wanted my entry to be right at this area, right? And I was going to take it down to the downside. So already I had identified peak formation high, level three, 1 day of drop into a consolidation. And I wanted to see a continuation the next day. And I also did share the entry with you guys on your AUD. All right, so as you can see, I had this first take profit. If I go to the M15, right, I had this area here as the first take profit. So as you can see from the entry, this actually did move down and got to my entry. And one thing about this entry was the peak formation high was set on a Thursday. All right, so Thursday, 1 level of drop into a consolidation going into the Friday. So I actually entered this trade and I held this trade, into the next week, which is the week that we're currently in, right? And as you can see, on that Monday, this gave us a very beautiful drop to the downside for over 150 pips. So if we look at the trading history that I have on this $50,000 account, I actually took profit. So I didn't really hold until the full take profit. And as you can see, I closed at $2,000 on that trade. And I also took Euro JPY, but I'm not really going to talk about that yet. But I want to show you the power of understanding where the direction is going to and what to look for setups, right? That's understanding your daily cycle. Right. So after that, this is what we had. So most people, when they watch my videos or, become part of the Telegram channel, most people think you don't get losses when it comes to trading, and that is incorrect. Right, so I won't really talk about the losses, but as you can see, these are the losses that we had. Had some trades on GJ and Euro AUD itself. Right, but one thing that I want you to see here is the risk is very managed. All right, the risk was very managed. Remember, it's all about risk to reward. Right, it's all about risk to reward. So as you can see, for that day, we had a very nice move down into the direction. Remember, this was now in line with our bias, right? As I had identified the peak formation high, we saw level one. This is the H1 time frame, by the way, level one into a consolidation, right? Ending the week. And we also had level two drop on the Monday. Right. So looking at this the previous week, of course, for us to actually get into the peak formation, it was very simple, right? We had this peak formation right here. We identified level one push, right? We also had another push that same day into a consolidation. And then that is how we got into the last push, giving us the peak formation. So going the other direction, we had this level one drop, right? And then we had the level two drop, right? And from there, what we can identify is we had a pullback, right? And another attempt to that first leg, which was a supply area. So that was also areas where I was looking for shorts. So this is very important, right? If you actually understand or see a pair that shows very clear, right? It shows you the levels with clarity and the structure is clear, then there is no point for you to trade 10,000 pairs, right? To trade 10,000 pairs. But even though we all know how trading is, you might get carried away, right? And, go through losses. It's always important to manage your risk well. So as you can see, most of the winners here, the biggest winners, right, was Euro AUD. We also had some Euro AUD sells here. And as you can see, I closed these two trades here, and one trade there was enough to actually cover all these losses here and give us more profit. And as you can see, this is still the same pair, Euro AUD. Right. So once you understand where the direction of a pair, you will know exactly what to wait for, and it increases the chances of you know, executing good trades. So as you can see, the direction was very clear and I knew exactly what I was looking for. And as you can see, we had that drop and we also had a drop today, which I actually did take a trade on that as well. So this week, one thing that I also had to keep in mind was we actually had some news on AUD, and this was the CPI. Right. So the fact that I was actually watching your AUD, it is very important for you to check your news, your high impact news. I don't really focus on the other news. I'm only interested in the high impact news. Right. So we had CPI, which I was actually in a trade when that happened. Right. Didn't really give us a big move, honestly. Not what I was expecting, but this happened during agent session. And I was actually awake for this one. Right. I usually just do that when you know, I'm holding trades and there's some high impact news. So when this move happened, I was already in the trade. So I took profit, right? I took profit, and this is the profit I took actually on these two trades, right? If you look at the time, this was around 3:41, and we had this high impact news at about 3:30 a.m. Right? So fine, that happened, and I also took some losses on Euro JPY. But look at how managed, the losses are. You do not have to take a major loss, right? Because emotions will always be there. Come on, if you've been a trader for a while, you have to know that emotions will play around with you. It happens to every trader. But managing these emotions and also your losses and risk is very important. Right, so we had some minor scratches on Euro JPY, and this is how we've ended the day. Actually, as you can see, we also took a trade on Euro AUD. Not really, I didn't really hold this for a long time, with 15 lots on that one. And then we also had a loss. Look at how I'm managing these losses. All right, and then we had the last trade I took on Euro AUD with $645. So I'm actually up 12% on this account, which is $6,000. All right, that I'm eligible for withdrawal when the time hits. All right, so this video, I hope you learned something from this video. This is to just show you how retrading is, right? It's not always just it doesn't always go as you have planned. All right, there will always be price movements. You will get, stop hunts most of the times that you don't expect. But the most important thing is managing your risk well. So just by looking at this from the area where we're actually interested in, taking shorts on your AUD, price so far has moved over 224 pips, and we can see that price has now moved back to a demand area. Right, that is the reasons I don't have any trades running currently on that. And it's Wednesday today, so I think for this account I might just be done. I might just be done for the week. But this is to just show you how losses should not blow your account. All right, don't let one loss blow your whole account. Don't let one loss bring you back to crazy drawdown. No, you really need to manage your loss as well, and do not become somebody who really gets into revenge trading, right? Because that will definitely reflect on your trading results and will definitely reflect on your weekly, monthly, or yearly results. So it's very important to manage your risk well. Do not overtrade, and trade when there is setups, right? Always trade when there is setups, right? So there is no point, because most of the times what will happen is people will get their stop losses hit, and because of revenge trading and FOMO, fear of missing out, what they'll try doing is they'll try to recover that loss immediately, right? And that's pretty much not something I advise you to do, because you will find yourself trying to recover a loss when there is no trading setup, right? When there is no trading setup, which will now lead to you probably trying to recover and getting a bigger loss, and end up probably blowing an account, or in this case, since this is a funded account, you might end up breaching the rules. So it's very important to stay disciplined at all times, you know, as you trade Btmm. All right, guys. So if you haven't joined our Telegram channel, do find the link in the description below. This is where I share some educational content, free signals, and I definitely give you guys setups every week that you can focus on. This is proof that even one setup, right, can be all you need for the week. All right, one setup is all you need if you can identify these setups with clarity. All right, guys. So, if you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, and tell us what you've learned from this video. We actually have a giveaway, which we have every Friday. So, all you have to do is tell me what you have learned from this video, and I will randomly choose a winner. And this winner will choose a $10,000 account, two-phase account with Fund Your FX. Right, so this is an opportunity for people who believe they are skilled but might not have enough capital to start trading. So this is proof that if you are someone like that, prop firms can be a very good stepping stone for you. To start making your way up in your trading. All right, guys. So this is something we do every week with our students. All right, we go through the charts over the weekend, and we have live trading sessions together throughout the week, right? So most of my students are funded traders. So risk management is a very, very big thing for us. So we don't give signals with crazy stop losses and all that, right? Risk is very important, as most of the people trade funded accounts. So if you love to be part of that, do reach out to me through the Telegram link to find out more information. And we also have mentorship slots available, as is the end of the year. So for those people who would like to learn from me, you can shoot me a message and find out more information about that. And all we teach here is simplified Btmm and order flow concepts, right? Institutional order flow concepts. That's how we have simplified it at MMK. All right, guys. Hope you've learned something from this video. Don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment, tell us what you've learned from this video to win and stand a chance to win a $10,000 account with Fund Your FX. All right, guys. All the best.